Harris Hill Raceway again for another SCCA Tracknight in America. I like these events because they're low-key and they're on a weeknight, so I don't have a huge all-day investment in the event, but you get a lot of track time. This is my first time in advanced, so I got passed a lot more, and my lap times reflect that in a lot of places where I had to slow down and let somebody pass who was faster than me. I also had an issue where my car was a lot slower in a lot of places. I was up to 5 miles per hour slower at some of the fast sections compared to what I was at the last session. I decided that was because I had set my ignition timing too far advanced based on some things I'd read on the internet, and I actually made the car slower. Each session I adjusted it back a little bit and kept retarding the timing, and I did actually gain speed until my session. I did have times that were a couple % slower than they had been in March, which I was pleased with. In the first session and on a lot of my laps, I was about 8% slower than I had been, so being within 1 or 2% was pretty good. based on the fastest sector times I had in each session. So this is what a lap would have looked like had I done each sector as fast as I could possibly do it. I was really frustrated that my times were significantly slower than the last session in March, and so I put together this map. The green is the speeds and g-forces I was pulling during the March lapping session, and then the red is my speeds and g-forces from this event, and they're significantly slower. So I was like, my g-forces aren't that much lower necessarily, but the speed at different places, turn 7, I went into turn 7 at 88 versus 84. So I decided that the car must be a lot slower now. So what do I do about that? So I decided I would use Track Addict to do segment times with me accelerating at full throttle. So I went and found a quiet road. I set up Track Addict. I had the timing set at 10 degrees to start with, and I then did some second gear pulls to see how fast or the g-forces I was pulling on those pulls so that I could compare. So this is at 10 degrees before top dead center, and then I did a second one the opposite way to back that up. And then I pulled into a side street and adjusted my timing right there. I then went up to 12 degrees before top dead center, did a pull, went to 14 degrees before top dead center, and did a pull, and then based on that, I tried to figure out what to do. Compared that series of acceleration runs at the various speeds to see how many G's I was pulling on each run. From that, I then took the highest G's from each speed range and figured out where those were. And it turns out at 12 degrees before top dead center is when my car pulls the hardest. 14 degrees, it's significantly slower, and at 10 degrees, it's significantly slower. So I'm hoping that setting my timing this way gains me some of that time back during the next session I'm at. So we'll see how that goes when the time comes.